Alright, so sorry the video ended so abruptly. I had to take care of something here at the house. So as I was saying, if you can take everything here and you run your query and it gives you everything back. This would be similar to what like a REST API would be. You're gonna get the whole you say get all, and it's gonna get everything, right? It's gonna give you back an object, or it's gonna with a bunch of stuff. But if let's say you know on a certain page you don't need all this junk, you just need to know whether or not I like cats. You can run a query that's just digs down into the likes and into whether or not I like cats, and it's just going to return that. So saves bandwidth and it makes your queries very simple. So how do we use this? How are we going to use this? Right? So like I said, it's a graphical. It's a lot like using Postman for testing routes and stuff. So how do we get this into the page? Okay, there's two methods we need to get from Gatsby. GraphQL and use static query. Okay, so let's start with that. Actually, since I told you this is just a warm-up for my presentation last night, I'm going to break out of here and fix the fact that I don't have a quote there. Hope you guys don't mind too much. Okay, that's good. We'll go back to presentation mode. So we need to import GraphQL and use static query from Gatsby. Okay, and that is back over here. Okay, remind me, this was under server control panel. Okay, so tomorrow when I can't think of it, that's where it's gonna need to look. Alright, so back to my files. In source, in where do we need to do that? What page? What do we want to get? Oh, let's do the title, right? The site title. Did I give us a title? Right, Alex's awesome Gatsby site. So instead of Alex's site, I'm going to use it here. So this is in the header. So we need to find the header component. So we have link in here, but we also need GraphQL and use static query. And then inside of here, what we do, we add a little, this might not be the right place for, I can remember whether it goes up in here or if it goes in here, but I think it goes in here. If it doesn't work, we'll find out very quickly and then we'll know. But I think the query goes in here. So we're going to say something like data equals, let's just do something here for a second. This is not really, I'm just testing something. Yes, this is giving me all kinds of error. This must be the wrong place for it. Maybe it just goes out here, I think. Okay, so the way we do, okay, we use the static query method, right? So we say use static query, and that takes this GraphQL method. Which uses these backticks. They're not single quotes, those are backticks. This is a ES6 thing. This is called a tagged template literal. Now, the actual like why it's using that and how it uses that under the hood is not within the scope of this. And honest, that's another thing I still need to work on figuring out myself. This is definitely a spot where I know the right thing to type, and I may not 100% understand it. I admit it, okay? But this is where this is the format. You run the query using the GraphQL method, and you put your query in between there. And really, it is exactly whatever, the way you build it here, right? This is basically the query. This is what I'm just going to copy and paste it, okay? Goes inside of here. And then You're not going to say my query. I don't know, maybe you can, but it's not needed. That's not the way we're going to do it. Say save. Okay, it reformatted it for us, so it must be okay. So, okay, so now what? Let's see. This is where I can stick it. Let's do console.log data. It doesn't like that. Why doesn't it like that? Person expected token expected. Doesn't like that. So let's do it. Okay, well that's weird. It doesn't mind it if it's inside. I guess it can't be the first thing. I think I remember some React tutorial watching where it might have been Westboss saying he banged his head against his keyboard for 20 minutes before he figured out that you can't do JavaScript in brackets and the S being the first thing or something like that. It might have been somebody else. At any rate, it didn't, obviously it's not showing me any error here when I put it here. So, probably okay. So let's look at the console. Did that work? Static query, GraphQL from Gatsby, const data. I wonder if I thought maybe I was saying I thought maybe it needed to be in here, and maybe it does. Maybe it needs to be. I think it needs to go in here. No, I guess not. That doesn't make sense. Let's save this. Let's go out here. What's going on here? Okay, let's do this. I don't need that. I need this. See, it's got the whole query in here. We don't need any of that though. Oh my. That's a long query string. Oh, okay, that's why. Because we're doing something. Invalid hook. Oh, a hook? What? You might have a mismatching version of React. You might be breaking the rules of hooks. You might have more than one copy of React in the same app. What? Weird that it wasn't giving me that error. Please update React to React for the use static query hook. Oh, it thinks this is a hook? Am I using the wrong? Use static query. Import use static query. have not had this problem before. I tried this in an earlier page and it seemed to work. Why is it not working here today? And reduce the size here so I can see a little more space here. Use static query, GraphQL. It's almost like it doesn't like this may be silly, but doesn't want to have this shouldn't make a difference, but I usually do it this way. If this makes a difference, I'll be amazed because it shouldn't make a difference. Yeah, okay. At least it's not that. Const data equals use static query. Use static query. I have to capitalize it right. GraphQL. Still thinks it's a hook. A little confused here. Maybe we need to try it somewhere else. Well, I don't know why that would make a difference. Let's get it out of here. Let's just try something different because I don't know. Kind of at a little bit of a loss, so let's just try something different. What if we say, alright, so I said we have to do can only be called inside the body of a functional component. Does that mean I need to do it here after all? was doing this before and it was working. Alright, so I'm gonna pause this. You guys don't need to watch this much of me fumbling around, okay? I'll be back.